Hello everyone, I am Professor Mayuresh. I along with JK Shah classes welcome you for this very important session where I am going to discuss RTP of May 22. SCMPE is a very important subject, you all know that, and things have changed a little bit, not a little bit actually, things have changed 360 degrees. Major part of the question paper these days is based on analytical skills, it is based on theory, I would say. So it is important for us to cover up even RTP part, because there are chances that they may ask you a few questions directly from RTP or similar questions they may ask you. So without wasting time, let's get started with the first question. First question is, guys, it's a case study. Integrity Limited engaged in a manufacturing of water pumps, pipes of all types and range, and sanitary fittings. These three businesses, pump, pipe and fittings, are managed separately as distinct investment centers. Investment centers means all these are independent units. They are not only held responsible for cost and revenue, but they will also be allowed to take their own decisions related to investment and capital expenditure. They can take decision about asset installation, plant installation and all. So they are completely independent centers. They are investment centers. Integrity Limited named these as division GG, YY, NN. Since the performance evaluation of divisional head and employees working under him/her is linked with the performance using financial measures of division, hence divisional head as well as employees trying their level best to improve divisional ROI. Divisional ROI, which is return on investment. Obviously, each manager will be evaluated, each in charge will be evaluated on the basis of the profit contributed by them. So, ROI is the basis of evaluation. Integrity Limited, in recent fiscal only, started a practice of thorough component-wise analysis of ROL, so that appropriate corrective measures can be applied. Management of Integrity Limited is of the firm belief that ROI is the best used performance measurement tool. Hence, they completely ignore the newly appointed CFO's advice to use residual income in addition to some non-financial performance measures for performance evaluation. Matlab yaar, they are not going for any other base apart from ROI. They are just following the same conservative strategy, thought process. CFO also said accounting profit has its own set of limitations, but the board is not convinced with this remark too. Look at this information, guys. We have something made available to us. We have investment. We have division wise investment, revenue, income, profitability rate, investment turnover and return on investment. Guys, if you recollect, if you know all these formats, you will be able to fill up all those question marks also. I'll go for division YY. Please concentrate on division YY. Your investment is 40 lakhs, but your revenue is 80 lakhs. Your income is 8 lakhs. So your profitability is 10%. Come on yaar, 8 lakhs ka profit hai, 80 lakhs ka revenue hai, so 10% is the profitability. रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट 8 lakhs का प्रॉफिट है, 40 lakhs का इन्वेस्टमेंट है, तो 8 lakhs divided by 40, return on investment will be 20%. Investment turnover. Investment turnover. Now, investment turnover means it's an evaluation of how much investment you have and how much revenue are you generating as compared to the investment. So, it is always a revenue upon the investment figure. How much is your revenue? 80 lakhs. How much is your investment? 40 lakhs. With 40 lakhs investment, you are earning 80 lakhs. So, can I say this is 2 times? Profit. Profitability is profit upon revenue into 100. ROI is profit upon investment into 100. And with investment of 40 lakhs, you are generating revenue of 80 lakhs. So, your investment turnover ratio is 2 times. Whatever you have invested, you are recovering 2 times. Of course, higher the better, no? So, in that case, before even we read the next part of the question, let us complete the question mark part, guys. Okay, let's go for division GG. I'm going for division GG. Your investment is 4 crores. What do you have? You have profitability 5%. Investment turnover is 2 times. Okay. So, investment turnover is revenue upon investment, right? It's revenue upon investment. Investment is 4 crores. Revenue we don't know, but this is 4 crores and it is 2 times. Hey, that means my revenue is 8 crores. My revenue is 8 crores. If my revenue is 8 crores, guys, things are so simple now. My profitability is profit upon revenue into 100, right? How much is profit? We don't know. How much is revenue? 8 CR, we just now got it. And the answer is 5%. I mean 5%. Answer is 5%. So, how much will be the profit figure? Your profit is 40 lakhs. Your profit is 40 lakhs. So, how much will be the return on investment then? 40 lakhs is your income, 4 crores is your investment, 10% will be your return on investment. So, 4 crores, 8 crores, 40 lakhs, 5%, 2 times 10%. ये होगा मेरा answer. Division NN, it's quite simple. How much is your revenue? 6 lakhs. And it is 12% of investment. Yaar, 6 lakhs, if it is 12% of investment, this must be 50 lakhs. This must be 50 lakhs. Acha, profit 6 lakhs, revenue 60 lakhs. Profit 6 lakhs, revenue 60 lakhs. Profitability is 10%. And revenue is 60 lakhs with an investment of 50 lakhs. So, it is 1.2 times. Aha, kya baat hai. Now we can say the table is ready, the question is ready. Now we'll see. Identify the reason for poor performance along with advice to improve the same. If the required rate of return at Integrity Limited is 8%, then comment on the performance of divisions using RI, Residual Income. I hope you know that. Profit minus cost of capital. I hope you recollect that. Yeah. So, third one will be state the benefit of using RI. List major shortcomings of accounting profit, ROI and RI, and why Integrity Limited needs to use non-financial performance measures. Explain. Okay, we'll do that. Now, in the first part, they have asked us to identify the reason for poor performance along with advice in improvement. If you observe carefully, my return on investment for division YY is 20%. So when I invest 100, I'm getting 20 rupees back. That means within 5 years, my entire investment gets recovered. Okay, I'm not considering present value factor and all that. Round about in 5 years, my entire cost, my entire investment gets recovered. Whereas this is too low. Correct? And even if you consider profitability, it is 10%, which is a reasonably good, but in GG is having only 5%. So division Y, it seems it's doing good. What about GG? The major problem with GG is return on investment is only 10%. Return on investment is only 10% and profitability is 5%. Oh my God, your profitability is minimum. Your profitability is minimum in 3 divisions. If your profitability is minimum, what you're supposed to do is please check your value analysis. Please do the value analysis, check your value chain. There must be some redundant process, there must be some non-value added process taking time, there must be some non-value added process involving drainage of cost. Just remove it. Automatically only productive, only value added systems will prevail and that will improve your profitability. Rest, otherwise you can't suggest anything in haywire. As far as NN is concerned, NN has a poor investment turnover ratio, guys. It is 1.2 times. That means either you are earning very less or you have invested too much. So if it is possible, try to minimize your investment, try to trim your investment. Trim your investment means, again, unproductive investment or undue investment or unwanted investment should be removed. If things can be managed through 15,000 square feet factory, there is no need to go for 30,000 square feet factory. If things can be managed through lesser capital employed, you need not invest more capital employed. Why are you blocking your funds? So in case of GG, we need to improve profitability by applying value chain analysis so that we can remove all redundant activities, non-value added activities, and division NN, where profitability is reasonably good, but then asset turnover ratio is a concern for me. That means there is an definitely unproductive or there is some additional investment lying in 50 lakhs. Try to trim it, try to reduce it. Automatically, if you reduce the investment part, profit being same, investment turnover ratio will improve. So that was your point number 1. Point number 2, if the required rate of return at Integrity Limited is 8%, then comment on the performance of division using RI with the same set of information and compare it against your findings in requirement A above. That means now they are asking us to calculate things on the basis of. RI. That means we need to calculate RI first. How do we get it? How do we get RI? So RI means your profit minus cost of capital on capital employed. Guys, you already have profitability. 40 lakhs, 8 lakhs, 6 lakhs. 40 lakhs, 8 lakhs, 6 lakhs. You already have profitability, guys. 40 lakhs, 8 lakhs, 6 lakhs. You already have 8% rate of return given in the question. And your capital employed is 4 crores, 40 and 50. So 4 crores, 40 and 50 multiplied by 8% will give me the final answer. So this residual income is an absolute term, independent. And you will be observing, when I was considering ROI as a base, division YY was doing better and GG was not doing better. But if you see but that was comparative, relative terms, ROI. You compare profit and investment and percentage, profitability. Percentage is considered as a base. Here, the absolute term answer it is. So 8 lakhs, 4.8 and 2 lakhs. If you see, GG is better than YY. So if I consider residual income as a base, this is the amount left for me after spending on cost of capital, after completing cost of capital. This is 4.8 lakhs, this is 2 lakhs. So NN will always be on the last priority, but if ROI, it's YY, GG. But if it is residual income, it is GG and then YY. That depends on what you are actually following. Now that shows that you need to earn more profit, or else you need to reduce your capital employed in case of YY. Then my third part, state the benefit of using RI. It's very simple. As I told you, it's an absolute term, so there is a greater probability that managers will be encouraged, because ultimately it's an independent effect. See, you invest something, you give me capital employed, I am giving you profit, my profit divided by your capital employed is giving me ROI. So it's not my fault, no. In case of, if you talk about this, investment turnover ratio is pathetic. Why? You invested 50 lakhs, I am the manager, I am giving you 6 lakhs. Just imagine if your investment would have been 10 lakhs. The ratio would have been different, ROI would have been different. So my ROI is profit upon capital employed. So capital employed is by the company, not by the manager. Of course, in this question, being investment centers, you can't pass on the responsibility to the company. You have a right and authority to reduce capital employed if it is required, but generally RI is preferred, residual income is preferred, because it is always in absolute terms. So that is the only advantage we have. So if it is in absolute terms, all managers will be very clear about their responsibility, all managers will be clear about their performances. Now that is possible when you go for residual income. So there is a chance that your managers will be encouraged because they are acting in their own best interest. Correct? What are the shortcomings of going for ROI, RI, profit? While calculating profit, cost of equity capital is ignored. The dividend that we pay is ignored. Of course, we do consider cost of debt, the interest and all, but we don't consider dividend. Now, you can generate a wealth, your company can generate a wealth only if you have surplus left after paying dividend. After paying interest, after paying dividend, there is a final amount payable to the shareholder. Thereafter, also if you are left with some surplus, it will be considered as your real profit of the company. Your profits can be manipulated very easily. Then your profit is on an annual basis, right? So your profitability is a short-term basis of taking the decision. If you see the long-term perspective, which can change the direction, because profit is of the particular financial year. Your capital employed may change over a period of few years. You may top up your capital employed for upgradation, for enhancement of the plant. All these factors are not taken into consideration when you are going for only profitability as a base. ROI leads to lack of goal congruence. Goal congruence means manager and organization both work in the same direction. Manager should also perform in such a manner that he is not only performing for his own benefit, he is actually contributing to the growth of the company. So company's goal should not be deviated by manager's act. If manager thinks about his own profitability, at some point of time, he may take a decision for his betterment rather than company's betterment. Like for example, if you consider ROI as a base, I as a manager will be only concerned with showing higher profitability of my department. So I may curtail the cost structure by using some unfair means like quality reduction, impairment of quality and all that. I may use a cheaper substitute of raw material, and all these things will lead to lapse in the quality, impairment of quality, and ultimately my company is going to get suffered because of it. But my business, my department cost structure will go down because of the inferior quality of material. My ROI will be more. So my benefit is actually at the cost of company's loss. So the problem of goal congruence will happen. You have already done this goal congruence concept in divisional transfer pricing. So whatever is the direction of the company's goal, your managers should also work in the same direction and not in the opposite direction. And RI being an obsolete measure, it's not capable of being used as a tool for making the comparison between divisional performances of different size. Obviously, see, I'll give you a simple example here. Oh my God, 8 lakhs profit. What about investment? What about investment? Investment was 4 crores. 4 crores pay 8 lakhs you are earning and you are celebrating it. 40 lakhs pay 4.80, 50 lakhs pay 2 lakhs. Do you think ignoring 4 crores, 40 lakhs and 50 lakhs makes sense? No. Since it is an absolute term, people rely only on 8 lakhs, 4.80, oh very bad, 2 lakhs. Boss, 4 crores you are spending and 8 lakhs you are earning. 4 crores you are investing and 8 lakhs you are earning makes no sense, no guys. I hope you guys are understanding this. Absolute terms have got no value. There has to be a comparative analysis. So that was another drawback of RI for which we are not supposed to go for RI. And point number 5 was why Integrity Limited needs to use non-financial performance measures. One part we have already discussed in this part. Why RI is not to be used, why ROI is not to be used. And secondly, your profitability as an analysis will always be short term. I can anticipate some change that may take place in the future. So inadequacy and unjustifiable nature of financial performance indicators, non-financial performance indicators, they both generate quite a useful data. I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Here, you get sustainable action-based indicators. I'm spending on employee training. I will not be getting the benefit in the same year, but over a period of 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the line, I can see the result. It's like grooming a captain grooms vice captain. A captain grooms vice captain, and the moment vice captain is ready, the captain steps down from the captaincy and the vice captain takes charge of the entire team. I hope you're understanding this. So over a period of few years, you start getting the fruits, but then non-financial measures will always be for a long-term benefit and not for short-term benefit. So you guys need to understand one thing. You guys need to understand one thing, that financial performance indicators will last for 1 year. They are always for a shorter period of time. This year profit, very good. Next year loss, very bad. Non-financial measures says, even if there is a loss in the current year, that's fine. At least I'm grooming my team. There are so many teams who were weakened at one point of time. They were not winning matches. They were in a transformation phase. And finally, what we got out of it was world champions. May it be cricket, may it be football, may it be individual games like tennis. So loss for today can be the foundation for the immense success after 3 years, 4 years, 5 years down the line. You don't consider that. That means you're focusing on the wrong things, which are short term, like profitability, ROI and all. So that was your first question, guys. Your first question was about ROI, RI, advantages, disadvantages. Let us go to the next question. Question number 2. Star Cellular Limited engaged in the manufacturing of mobile handset batteries. One of the batteries types which SCL is currently producing is the BL5C battery. SCL sells this battery to many handset manufacturers. So we are manufacturer of batteries and we are selling batteries to many handset manufacturers. One of the quality circle team recently discovered an issue with the battery, that if it gets heated beyond a limit, it gets burst and cause an explosion in the handset. So guys, I would always say there is a quality lapse. I'm just writing down this because I need to remember this. Management considering the issue based upon the following facts. The engineering team provided a solution that they can change the material like metals, components currently in use with the new materials that is more resistant to heat and has auto cooling feature. Modify the processes of producing the battery to eliminate such incidents of explosion completely. But this will lead to an increase in the production cost by ₹80 per battery. Okay. In order to understand the severity of this issue, the technical team makes an estimate that next month it is estimated that 120 such issues may take place out of 1,80,000 batteries that SCL expected to manufacture and sell. The technical team also suggests that out of 120 such explosions, only 10% cases wherein there will be only 10% cases wherein the user will be able to identify the explosion in the handset taken place due to the bursting of battery. Legal team estimates and suggest if such 10% users take legal action, the SCL will lose the suit and the company cannot defend itself and I will have to pay 10 lakhs rupees as compensation. Whoa. Out of 120 cases, if 10% people realize that, okay, if 10% realize, I'm going to lose 10 lakhs. Okay, I don't want this risk to be taken. I don't want to spend 10 lakhs. Then boss, you apply the change suggested by the engineering team that will cost you 80 rupees additionally per battery. So guys, 1,80,000 batteries you are producing. 1,80,000 batteries you are producing. So your additional cost is going to be 1 crore 44 lakhs. 1 crore 44 lakhs. $144 lakhs, and this is 10 lakhs on each suit, 120 defective units, 10% will file case against me, 12 people will file case against me, 12 people multiplied by 10 lakhs, 120 lakhs will be the compensation. I think there is no point in spending on this. I myself will pay. I'll prefer paying 120 lakhs. This is completely on financial decision making, financial consideration, financial basis, not on the basis of non-financial measures. I hope you people understood this. In order to avoid those cases, I will have to restructure those batteries at additional cost of 80. So 1,80,000 batteries multiplied by 80, 144 lakhs I will have to spend in order to avoid those problems. And if I don't incur 144 lakhs, I'll have to incur 120 lakhs. Out of 120 batteries, if 10% file suit against me, 12 people will file suit against me, 10 lakhs divided by 12, 120 lakhs will be my cost. So, ठीक है यार, I will not incur 144, I will incur 120. But if you consider non-financial matters, this will create a scar on your image as a product. Customer satisfaction is important. So, financial matters, I will drop the proposal. I will rather face case law, because see, there is a chance, no, where I can win the case. This may go down. Evaluate the viability of solution provided by engineers. Okay, as I said, 144 lakhs you're going to spend, or 120 lakhs. You are saving 24 lakhs. There is hardly any management decision that has only financial implication. Usually strategic decisions have quantitative as well as qualitative, that means non-financial implications too. So based upon monetary facts, SCL should ignore the suggestion given by engineering team and we should not go for the modification. We are ready for the case suits. Ideally, you should not know. See, whenever you take decisions, strategic decisions, you don't consider only financial matters. Okay, you will be saving 24 lakhs today. What about your future? What happened to Samsung? The practical example is in front of you. The Samsung actually started losing its market share because of those burst cases. Samsung was actually doing well. It was quite a successful brand, but then it's lots. People had a lot of distrust in the product because of the Samsung Galaxy Note started getting blasted. It happened in few cases, but it happened. So, ethical, brand, unnecessary diversions and engagement. Yeah, you will be involved in case laws and case studies and court cases and all that will cause unnecessary diversion. Regulatory, you may be fined, government may interfere someday later saying that there are social causes, social concern that your mobiles are active bombs in that case. Then government may put regulation on you and your competitors will kill you like anything. They will have n number of things to be said, and the most important is safety issue. So after considering all this, I think we should follow what engineers have said. So all these factors need to be considered as well, because you cannot simply rely on financial matters. That was your question number 2, guys. The next question is environmental accounting, which is very important concept. These days they have started asking questions frequently on this. SY Industries operate in 2 different lines of business. First one is SY Paper Mart and the other one is SY Glass Limited. So one is paper production and the other one is glass production. One is paper production, the other one is glass production. SPM is a paper manufacturer that obtains environmental management certification, which has obtained environmental management certification a couple of years ago. Then CEO of the division was committed to environment cost management. At his superannuation, the new CEO replaced him, who believes apart from avoiding legal consequences, there is no sensible reason for considering environmental cost management. SPM hardly practiced the requirement contained in the standard afterwards. It seems they obtained the certificates to fulfill the legal requirement only. HGL, being the manufacturer of glasses, use cadmium, which is toxic for kidneys as well as skeletal and respiratory systems. It is classified as human carcinogen. Carcinogenic मतलब जिससे कैंसर हो सकता है. This was used in red ruby glass. 0.03% of selenium, 0.06% of cadmium and 0.03% of sulfur to produce ruby color. At SGL, only ruby red glass is responsible for all the cadmium emissions, but the cost accounting system allocated a portion of its cost to all products. So there is a problem in the allocation also. The turnover of SGL during immediate previous year was 248 crores, which was around 17% higher than what it was a year ago. Naturally, the cost structure which is causing the cost structure which comes into existence due to glass manufacturing is spread across the organization. That means burden on glass department has gone down, cost has gone down, naturally profit will go up. During the immediate previous year, at SGL, cost of disposing the toxic material was rupees 82 lakhs. The cost of recycling products and scrap was 1.05 crores and 64 lakhs respectively. Cost of committee, the committee which is responsible for environmental certification and formulating organizational policy of environment proceeding, was 24 lakhs, which includes 2 lakh fees for renewal of certification and 3 lakhs for boarding and other connected arrangements. So 3 lakhs for boarding of inspection team who made visit prior reviewing the environmental clearance certificate. मतलब procedures पे ही you are spending so much currently. Environment monitoring and employee training cost is 37 lakhs and 8 lakhs respectively. Monitoring cost includes audit fees of 2 lakhs. Inspection cost inside SGL to ensure the compliance to environmental standards and their own policy matter is 7 lakhs. During immediate previous year, a penalty order of 75 lakhs passed by adjudicating authority against SGL for cadmium emission beyond the allowed limit by the regulator. Against the order, SGL made an appeal. Appellate authority upheld the order of adjudicating authority but reduced the penalty to 40%. Evaluate the belief of the new CEO. Of course, it is not accepted. You are not implementing environmental accounting, or you're not implementing environmental norms just for the sake of certification. You belong to the society and you owe it to the society. You cannot harm the environment. You cannot harm the society. So, the first part. Environmental cost can be large for some sectors. Society in which business operates cares for the environment. So, we need to develop a system of measuring, reporting and monitoring environmental cost. We need that system. It is inevitable, unavoidable. So, of course, we don't agree with what they have said, what the new CEO has said. Comment on the current pattern of allocation of environmental cost pertaining to the cadmium emission of SGL in regards to cost of the product produced by SGL. Advise the better approach which cost accounting system would adopt. What are they saying? There is a complete blunder. emission which is caused by glass manufacturing unit. So ideally the cost must be borne by the glass manufacturing unit, but the cost is spread over the entire organization. Agar aisa hua, to there will be under costing of SGL, glass department, and it will be put as a burden, additional burden, unwanted burden, unrealistic burden on other segments of the same organization. Ye galat ho raha hai. If it is due to SGL, it must be borne by SGL. आप एक काम कर सकते हो, you can find out cost drivers which are causing such emissions, which are causing such cost, and you can charge the cost to different segments based on cost drivers. अब SGL और SPM है, पेपर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग है, गैस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग है, आप cost drivers डिसाइड करो. Apply activity based costing. आपकी total cost will be divided by total cost drivers. You will get rate of cost driver. That rate of cost driver will be applied on the respective cost drivers of each division. Definitely major part will get allocated to glass, which is more logical rather than charging it on some weird basis among the organization. EAC. So it will result in under costing, whereas cost of other products being overstated. This is what I explained. So you better apply activity based costing as a technique so that cadmium emission shall be charged to ruby glass and not for the all product. Because agar cadmium emission, if it is considered as cost driver, it will be generated exclusively in glass manufacturing unit. So the cost will be charged exclusively in glass manufacturing unit. So my other cost structures will be unaffected, and the environmental cost will get charged to the right department, and it will reduce the burden of environmental cost on the entire organization. That was point number 2. Point number 3, prepare the common size environmental cost statement for the immediate previous year SGL as per the classification suggested by Hansen and Mendonca to equip management for comparison over the periods. If I want to go for environmental accounting, I need to go for the classification. See, understand this very clearly. If I am going for environmental accounting, I need to classify my expenses as prevention cost, then appraisal cost, prevention cost, appraisal cost. Prevention cost stops the emission, appraisal cost will check the level of emission. Then I may also think of going for internal failure cost. Internal failure cost means the cost which is incurred for generating the emission within the organization, and external failure cost is the cost when the penalty is levied on us, when I incur the cost because of some outside pressure due to emission. So you need to understand these 4 aspects. Prevention cost will stop. Prevention cost will take steps towards stopping or minimizing the emission. Appraisal cost will help you out in finding out whether the emission is under control or not. Internal failure will be the cost like cleaning the floor space, cleaning a treatment of the sewage water, treatment of the liquid that is being dispersed in the production process, cleaning of gases or emission that is being created in the form of gas, in the form of liquid, in order to rework, in order to reinstate, or in order to rework whatever cost you incur, that is called as internal failure. And due to emission, when outsiders are costing us something, that will be cost that will be considered as external failure, which can be a penalty or a fine levied by the government and all. I have a few cost structures given in the question. The cost of disposing toxic material is 82 lakhs. The cost of disposing toxic material is 82 lakhs. This is an outcome of internal failure. This is an outcome of internal failure. Since there is an emission, I am incurring this cost within the organization. Recycling the cost of recycling the product and scrap was 1.05 crores. Recycling the product 1.05 crores and 64 lakhs respectively. Okay, I can take 64 scrap recycling. Scrap recycling means scrap will get into existence once the production process is done. Scrap is a wastage generated in the production process. Since you generated wastage, you are incurring this cost on recycling this wastage. Cost of recycling products. I'm using recycling treatment for products now. Now, if I'm using recycling technique on products, it is not a wastage that is being generated. It is basically done to prevent any emission, prevent the situation from any emission. So, 1.5 CR. So, these are in lakhs. So, I'll better take it as 105 lakhs. I will take it as a recycling product, means I'm not processing them, I'm not producing anything out of it, I'm simply recycling it so that I will prevent the emission. Then I have certification of 24 lakhs. I have certification of 24 lakhs. And then I'll keep this pending. Environmental monitoring and employee training 37 and 8. Employee training. When you give training to employees, you make them ready to avoid emission, to minimize emission. So I will add 8 lakhs to this prevention cost. And 37 lakhs is environment monitoring. Monitoring will be charged here. Monitoring should be charged here. Appraisal cost. Appraisal means you find out how much is the emission, whether it is more, whether it is less. It's a comparison. What it actually should be and how much it is actually. But monitoring cost includes 2 lakhs audit fees. If this includes 2 lakh audit fees, I cannot take 37 lakhs as appraisal cost. I will restrict it to 35 lakhs and 2 lakhs is to be recorded separately. Of course, 2 lakhs will be for the same audit. They are not talking about financial statutory audit. They are talking about environmental audit. Let it be separate. Let it be separate. Inspection cost is 7 lakhs. Inspection cost will let me know the current emission status. During the immediate previous year, the penalty of 75 lakhs was passed. Okay, the penalty of 75 lakhs will be considered as external failure. But then it was reduced to 40%. Okay, so 75 into 40%. Okay, so I will not take this as 75 lakhs anymore because it is reduced to 40%, that means 30 lakhs. It was 75 lakhs, we filed a suit, we appealed against the order given by the appellate authority and we lost the case, but the penalty was reduced to 40%. It's not 75 lakhs anymore, it is 40% of 75 lakhs, 30 lakhs. So guys, this is what I have currently. Any other calculation to be done? I kept this cost pending, if you recollect. It was about committee. Which consists of 2 lakhs and 3 lakhs as salary for certification. So out of 24 lakhs, I will write 5 lakhs separately as a certification cost and balance 19 lakhs will be recorded as the cost of committee. Balance 19 lakhs will be recorded as cost of committee. Of course, see, the total will tally, but I must show the certification cost separately and committee cost separately. Similarly, I must show audit fee separately and the appraisal cost separately here. This is what I'm supposed to present. You can take the screenshot of this if you want. If it is environmental accounting, I'm going to split my cost into 4 parts: prevention, appraisal. Prevention will stop. This will help me out in stopping or reducing the emission. This will let me know how much is the emission. This is what I'm going to do with the emission, and this is what people will make me do, or people will make me pay for externally. So this is what I need. This is what I want to classify. And of course, you have the solution with you. You can find it out easily. It's one and the same. It has to be presented in this manner. I hope you understood the entire explanation related to this. So what is the 4th part asked? Briefly analyze the environmental cost structure with a piece of advice for the management. What advice should I give? Boss, if you recollect, your total cost is 357 lakhs. The total cost is 357 lakhs, which is around 1.439% on turnover of 248 crores. So 357 lakhs divided by around 1.43, around 1.4 you are spending. 1.4 or 1.5 approximately you are spending on environmental cost. And even in that, the major portion is for internal failure. Major portion of it is due to internal failure. That means, guys, we have to see, penalty was manageable, penalty was still manageable, but then the internal failure needs to be taken care of. Recycling of scrap, toxic material, that is also costing you. Employees, training, you must increase employees training. I'll tell you, spend more on this. If you spend more on training, this will be taken care of. This may get reduced. If you focus more on training, the production will be done in most diligent and most professional manner, which will minimize the wastage, because they will be aware of how to manage the production with the minimum wastage, with the minimum emission. If that happens, environmental toxic and environmental scrap can be avoided. So in order to avoid this, you can start spending more on this. Rest everything is beyond your control, certification and all that. This is simply an appraisal cost. So you have to keep on incurring that cost on a regular basis, but this is avoidable. And to avoid this, train staff. Automatically, even this will be avoided. If this gets avoided, even this will get avoided. So spend more on training and your work is done. So I'm suggesting focus on training. That was question number 3 for you guys. Next question is on total productive maintenance. DV Enterprises is known for quality products and processes across the industry. It operates in 2 shifts of 9 hours each on 26 days in a calendar month. In its drive for efficiency and enhanced productivity, it adopted TPM and tried to minimize the 6 big losses. Top bosses, in the presence of few board members, conducted a review meeting. Now, what is TPM? Total productive maintenance. You manage your resources in such a manner that wastages of all kind can be minimized or can be eliminated. What is total productive maintenance? Let's understand the concept properly. See, your total productive maintenance basically means maintaining and improving. Maintaining and improving the integrity of production and quality systems. Now, if I talk about that in simple terms, manage your machines, manage your equipments, manage your processes, and manage your employees who are actually producing and converting raw material into finished product. Because if you really want to minimize the wastage, these are the factors which are giving you wastage. So you can implement TPM and you can minimize the wastages of all kind. Now in that case, you have to carry on the proper maintenance of all these things, machines and equipments. You'll have to focus on training. You'll have to focus on training given to employees on a regular basis, and you have to follow, or you have to go for follow-up of how effectively the training has benefited the organization. So that is your TPM. Let's move ahead. So the meeting was conducted by the maintenance department head Hukum Singh and head of production and operation Karthik Vishwakarma. Karthik said, breakdown maintenance that is currently in practice under pillar 3 of TPM. Pillar 3 is planning, planned maintenance. And this is failed to make an impact in terms of improving productivity. He further suggested DV enterprises must move to preventive maintenance. We should go for preventive maintenance rather than going for planned maintenance. Planned maintenance has failed. So basically we have to focus on prevention so that we can avoid breakdown of all kinds. He mentioned that during the most recent month, 14 incidents of breakdown happened, which led to a downtime of 32 hours in the assembly line. Mr. Sadanand Tripathi, who is a board member and engineer by education, immediately responded, why preventive maintenance? Why not predictive maintenance? So preventive maintenance will not let the wastage happen. Preventive maintenance will stop the breakdown or will stop the wastage. Predictive maintenance will keep on suggesting you that there is a probable chance of breakdown. जैसे तुम लोग को मोटरसाइकिल में, कार में रिजर्व होता है. Reserve is an indicator. It's a preventive step. It's a preventive step, or I would say it's a prediction. Okay, now you are almost on the verge of being out of stock. Both will work. Both will have their own pros and cons. अब देखा जाए तो दोनों लगते तो सेम है. But there is a difference. Preventive maintenance is a continuous process, and predictive maintenance will be implemented only if the team feels like implementing it, because that depends on the condition of the machine. Like for example, you give your vehicle for servicing once in 6 months. It's a new vehicle, you give it for servicing once in 6 months as and when the number of kilometers criteria you meet. It's a preventive maintenance so that there won't be a problem in the future. But if I have an old car which I need on a daily basis, I can't afford to see a situation where I don't have a car. In that case, if I'm going for a maintenance, it will be called as predictive maintenance. So preventive maintenance is a full-time activity, and preventive maintenance is a full-time activity, but your predictive maintenance is required in some specific situations, and they are not regularly scheduled like preventive maintenance. So naturally your material cost, your labor cost is saved if you implement predictive maintenance rather than preventive maintenance. So Mr. Hukum opposes Mr. Karthik because maintenance department is already under pressure, hence not in a position to have a preventive maintenance. Cost zyada hogi definitely. Mr. Karthik said despite of multiple rounds of training, the operators are not able to perform maintenance on their own. मतलब autonomous maintenance भी fail हो रहा है. Hence the maintenance department becomes responsible to keep all machines in order. After considering the viability of other sorts of maintenance too, ultimately top bosses decided to shift to preventive maintenance for 3 months with the condition of review after the 3rd month. Mr. Karthik said, Mr. Karthik asked to send manpower required to report to cope up with the over-occupancy. After 3 months, Mr. Karthik reported that 6 incidences of breakdown took place in the recent month that caused 15 hours of downtime. So we can see the significant reduction in the idle time. During the 3rd month, production unit remains operative only for 14 days due to forced lockdown on account of COVID-19. Oh my God, now suddenly the situation changes. I was very happy that there were only 6 incidences and 15 hours were lost. But then I realized the available time was also less. So my available time was less, and even during that lesser time, 15 hours of downtime has happened. Analyze the effectiveness of preventive maintenance. Mean time between failures and mean time to repair. Okay. Advise, should Divi Enterprise continue with preventive maintenance or move to breakdown maintenance? Breakdown maintenance is a restorative activity. Let's analyze this. ये ऐसा क्या मांग लिया यार? Mean time between failure. Mean time between failure means the time interval between 2 failures. One failure is after 15 days, another failure is after 15. So basically, a total number of days divided by total number of failures will give you mean time between failures. And mean time to repair means how much time does it take to carry on the repair activity? Because for this period, your production will be stopped because the restoration process must be going on. Please try to understand this. I'll explain it to you. I'll first go for the old system. Please try to understand this. We are working for 2 shifts of 9 hours each for 26 days in a month. Am I right? Okay, guys. So 9 hours, 2 shifts for 26 days. 9 hours into 2 shifts into 26 days. Guys, 468 hours were available. 468 hours were available. Do you guys agree with me? 468 hours were available. Post implementation, 9 hours are unchanged, 2 shifts are unchanged, but due to COVID, you were operational only for 14 days. Oh my God, oh my God. That means number of hours available were 252. Okay. Incidences of breakdown, 14 and 32 hours idle time. 14 idle hours, 32, which is dropped down to 6 instances and 15 hours. That means you worked for 468 minus 32, 436 hours, 237 hours. You understood this? Correct? Now, so 436 hours you were working for. In 436 hours, you had to stop 14 times. So 31.14 is your mean time between failures, which is 237 divided by 6, which is 39.5 hours. So after every 31.14 and after every 39.5 hours, there is a breakdown, old as well as new. And mean time for repairs, if 32 hours are wasted in 14 times, total 32 hours were wasted in 14 times, that means each time it was 2.29 hours taken for repair work, whereas here 15 divided by 6, 2.5. So repair time was more as per the new case, repairs time was more as per the new case, but mean time between failure is also high. So after 39.5 hours there is a breakdown, so it's good. You took more time because it is preventive maintenance with a different staff, with a different combination, that's fine. Now what are we trying to say? See, higher mean time is because of preventive maintenance. Time between two breakdown has increased to 39.5. Now incidence of breakdown will come after 39.5 instead of 31.14. Whereas lower MTTR is preferred. Why? Because you will repair the situation faster, you will recoup the situation faster, you will restore the situation faster, and you will start continuing with the production. So if I consider MTBF, new situation is better. If I consider MTTR, old one was better. So the most probable reason may be the preventive maintenance due to breakdown was reduced, but repair time has increased because we were more focused on prevention. So we could avoid breakdown. Repair work took more time. So they asked us to analyze, they didn't ask us to suggest anything. Advise. It is advisable to continue with preventive maintenance because MTBF is improved. See, repair work is minimum, but why you want to go for repair work? अरे यार, breakdown ना हो तो ज़्यादा better है ना, repair की ज़रूरत ही नहीं पड़नी चाहिए. If your breakdown is prolonged, it is better for you. If your breakdown is prolonged, idle time is eliminated, production is more, efficiency is increased, productivity is increased. So repair time or mean time for repairs cannot be the basis of decision making. I would always prefer going for the new system. In order to cut MTTR, you can train the staff. You can have additional stock of machine part or assembly part with you, so that the repair time will come down. But if the another quarter or two, if MTTR does not come down, then you go for predictive analysis. That's what they have suggested. So that was your, okay, see, they have given us this data. They have already mentioned everything. So this is higher the better, this is lower the better. But if I want to take the decision, I would always prefer a situation where this is higher. This can still be implemented by providing training and by making the parts available. This can be brought down. As far as possible, try to prolong this, so you will be at much better, in much better condition. That was your question number 4, guys. Next one. Next is question number 5. Paridhan is a ready-made garment brand of Vignesh Apparel and Garment Limited. VAGL has a chain of retail stores and outlets throughout the country, wherein they offer a range of ready-made garments under the brand Paridhan for all ages and genders and regions. The decisions of pricing and advertising are taken place at the strategic level. That means that decisions are taken by the head office and stores are bound by that. Mr. Pradeep Shukla, who is a zonal manager of the North Zone, surprised to notice the variation between the performances of different stores. During the zonal meeting, the manager of different stores offered their key pieces of information, which was complex and insufficient to make the proper comparison of performance among the stores. Mr. Sanjay Tripathi, the chief management accountant of VAGL, was also present during the review meeting. Some of the stores, despite of being large in size, are not able to register sales comparable to size, whereas some of the small stores have high conversion and basket size. What do you mean by basket size? Basket size means the total number of items purchased by the customer at a time. You go to the supermarket, you keep on taking everything in the basket, tug. You go to the counter and then you do the billing. That is basket size. How much you are buying, how many types of products you are buying at a time. That is basket size. So, for instance, the monthly details pertaining to 3 stores located in the same city on the different locations are given below. Sadar Bazaar, Central Market and Model Towns are the 3 outlets we are talking about. Number of items received, number of items sold, customer walked in, number of invoices. Look at this. Look at the conversion. Worst conversion is here. Conversion, people are walking in but not buying much. People are walking in, buying a good number. The actual sale is also available. Target sales is also available. You have crossed the standard. You have crossed the target. Last month sales, okay, you have done better than the last month. Poor than the last month. Of course, better than the last month. In the third case, store size. The store size is huge in Sadar Bazaar. Look at this. Look at this, 980 square feet. Look at the turnover. Guys, during the strategic meet of all the zonal heads and top officials of the company, Mr. Sanjay Tripathi expressed the importance of linking key performance indicator to critical success factors Critical success factors is what you want to achieve, and key performance indicators is how you're going to achieve that. Correct? So he stressed to use the uniform key performance indicator scorecard for all the stores across the nation so that comparison becomes easy. Hence, it was mutually decided to develop a set of KPI that can measure the store's internal efficiency and performance. Mr. Pradeep interested in knowing that how stores manager can improve their performance of the store in terms of set of KPI at his own level without using any resources. He mentioned that the quality of the product is the factor that is beyond the control of the store manager. Okay, quality is an outcome of production, no, so that is beyond my capacity as a stores manager. What am I supposed to find out? What am I supposed to find out? Recommend the set of KPI, recommend the set of KPI that can be put to use at VAGL to measure and compare the store's internal efficiency. Recommend the set of KPIs. Then commend the performance of 3 stores and advise the stores manager for the marketing initiatives which they can practice in order to improve the performance of the store in terms of set of KPIs suggested at their own level without significant application of resources. Also state their effectiveness. Okay, we need to understand a few things here. Basket size I explained you, number of units purchased by the customer at a time. They are asking for KPIs. See, as I told you, basket size can be one of the measures. Total items, divided by total bills. If I am buying 50 items together, there will be one bill. If I am buying 20 items together, there will be one bill. If I am buying 3 items together, there will be one bill. So per bill, how much units are getting sold? One more important thing you can consider here as ticket size. Ticket size is nothing but your total sales, bill amount basically, divided by your total bills. You might have purchased 50 items, but they must be all petty items. You must have purchased grocery. I have purchased gold. So in that case, ticket size of my sale will be more. So that can be one of the key factors, key performance indicators. And the other one is conversion rate. I cannot ignore this. Conversion rate is number of bills upon number of inquiries. I would say footfall. If 10 people travel and if 2 bills are made, so it is 20%. If 10 people enter and 2 people are getting the billing done, so it is 20% conversion rate. So these are the 3 important factors which I feel can be taken as KPI. So how many items purchased by one person? How much is the total amount of one person? How much is the conversion out of the total footfall? Apart from that, you may also go for average selling price. You find out how much is the total collection and how many items are sold. Average selling price can also be considered. Of course, there is no direct nexus between this. Then sale per square foot can also be taken as a base, because if you look at this, it's painful to see this as compared to. That can also be taken as key performance indicator, total sales divided by square feet. You can also find out stock clearance as a base. You received so much, you sold so much. Great. So you 6920 sales against 784 received. So 89% of the output is sold. That can also be taken as a base. And of course, you can also take target reached as the indication. If it is more than 100, it is good. If it is less than 100, it's a concern. So these are the key performance indicators to be decided. This is what we have done, the comparison. Basket size is 2.15 times. 6920. Hey. 6920 on 3216 bills. Similarly, 2.91. So this is better, right? The second one can be ticket size. Oh my God, this is what you have registered as total sales against 3216 bills. So 2617 is the highest per bill amount. Similarly, they have calculated conversion rate. Conversion rate of the third store is tremendous. Average selling price is good in this per square feet, and undoubtedly your third store is going to score maximum. And stock clearance is also great. Small area, stock clearance is also high. So this can be key performance indicator. Then you had the second last one, if you recollect, this one, actual upon previous year comparison, and finally target achievement. You have done better than the target, less than target, less than target. Last month's versus current month's comparison. So it is increased in terms of first and third, it is decreased in terms of the second. So there is a positivity in case of first and third, there is a negativity in case of the second. This can be taken as key performance indicator. So accordingly you classify this. What is asked in the third part? Advise stores manager. Advise stores manager the marketing initiatives which they can practice in order to improve the performance. You can go for upselling. Upselling is something where you encourage your customer to purchase a higher end product rather than the one they ask for. Have you ever been to a restaurant? When you can't decide the menu, you ask the waiter, आप suggest करो कुछ अच्छा सब्जी. He will always tell you the costliest one. Starters में कुछ suggest करो. Sir, why don't you go for platter? सबसे महंगा ही चिपकाएंगे वो लोग. सब्जी सबसे महंगा. Anything in dessert, सबसे महंगा चिपकाएंगे. Because they are supposed to do that. Upselling. Cross selling. एक चीज खरीदने जाओगे तो दूसरा चिपका देने का. ये टीवी ले रहे हो, वेरी गुड. सर टीवी के साथ साथ व्हाई डोंट यू बाय अ स्टैंड. लैपटॉप ले रहे हो, ओके, सो व्हाई डोंट यू बाय अ स्किन लैपटॉप कवर. You can also think of, oh, you are buying mobile phone. Would you like to have a mobile holding stand? You can take that. So, कोई ना कोई extra item चिपका दो. That is cross selling. Add-on selling. Give something additionally to the customer. Maybe related, maybe complementary. It's not free of cost. Related concept or identical concept are totally different. I can give you one more example of cross selling and add-on selling. Add-on selling was that mobile liya to stand becho, you can say add-on selling. Laptop liya to skin becho, that is add-on selling. Sir, TV ले रहे हो, music system ले रहे हो, please look at washing machine section also, sir. There is a discount. Okay, you are buying TV. You have come here to buy TV. Okay, just why don't you have a look at the music system, sir? Music system में भी अच्छा sale चल रहा है. So you sell one more additional product to them, whether from this category or from other category. Add-on selling is the same thing, but from different category you sell it. So if you do that, how will your key performance indicator match? As far as conversion is concerned, see, a customer never came for that, so there is no impact of this. Average ticket size will definitely have a positive impact because more items will be sold. Basket size for cross selling, I'm not selling anything extra in the upsell, but in दोनों में I'm selling something additional. So एक के बदले 2 आइटम लेके जाएगा, 2 के बदले 3 आइटम लेके जाएगा, तो टिकट साइज भी बढ़ेगा, बास्केट साइज भी बढ़ेगा. Average sale price in the first case will be definitely more, but in the second case it depends on the product purchase. मतलब मैं लैपटॉप के साथ स्किन खरीद रहा हूँ तो इतना ज़्यादा डिफरेंस नहीं होगा. म्यूजिक सिस्टम अगर खरीदा मैंने टीवी के साथ, तो म्यूजिक सिस्टम भी कॉस्टली, टीवी भी कॉस्टली, तो इट कैन हैव एन इम्पैक्ट. सेल्स थ्रू ऑफ कोर्स पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट. आप कस्टमर टीवी लेने आया, आपने टीवी चिपका दिया तो कुछ बड़ी बात नहीं है, बट कस्टमर टीवी लेने आया, आपने म्यूजिक सिस्टम चिपका दिया, वॉशिंग मशीन चिपका दिया, तो डेफिनेटली इट इज गोइंग टू क्रिएट अ ह्यूज डिफरेंस. So this is what you are supposed to write, simple, in your question number 5. Next question is on divisional pricing, transfer pricing. Curable Limited is a pharmaceutical company that has many divisions. One of its divisions, A, produces chemical vials that can be used for storage of medicines. These chemical vials have both internal as well as external market. Division B is another department for the same company. Uses these vials to package some of its medicines it produces. So A will be having an option of selling vials in the market as well as transfer to Division B. Following is the information related to production of Division A. Annual capacity is 35 lakhs vials. Annual production is 25 lakh vials. So this is quantity manufactured for us. Internal transfer 10 lakh vials. External sales 15 lakhs. Guys, that means I have spare capacity. I hope you know the importance of it. I can still produce 10 lakh vials and I can still sell 10 lakh vials in the market. So there won't be an opportunity cost while transferring it. Division A incurs a variable cost of 800. The most important cost for us, variable cost 800 per vial, per unit. The fixed cost of production is 50 crores. I'm not interested. It's an irrelevant cost. Out of these, 15 crores are for machinery and production infrastructure for internal sales to B. Something is important about it. This has been procured to produce vials exactly as per the specification of B. Then in that case, I need to consider that part. As per the company's current procurement policy, since Division A is operating at less than the full capacity, Division B has to purchase entire annual requirement from Division A. Division A charges Division B full cost plus 2% as his transfer price, full cost. This is in tune with the company's overall transfer pricing policy that is used for interdepartmental transfers. Performance assessment of each departmental manager gives emphasis on the overall financial performance of the department. Recently, the manager of Division B has received a proposal from an external vendor for 1050 per vial. The product specifications would be suitable for the requirement of B, hence they are comparable with the customized production that A makes for B. ये भी ठीक है. Calculate internal transfer price on the basis of full cost plus 2% markup, and then current transfer pricing methodology, pros, cons, and then they have asked us to, should the management permit division B to procure chemical vials from the external vendor? Division B has received a proposal. Someone else is ready to offer the same material, the same vial for 1050. So they have an option of buying it from us as well as buying it from the market. Okay. Guys, please understand, your variable cost is 800. Your variable cost is 800. Okay. So after variable cost, I need to consider fixed cost as well, because question has asked me to go for total cost, full cost plus profit. So boss, my fixed cost is 50 crores. 50 crores is split into two parts. 15 crores is exclusively for the quantity which is produced for B. That means balance 35 crores is for my total capacity of 35 lakhs. So that comes to 100 per unit. And this 15 crores is only for, 10 lakhs. This 15 crores is only for 10 lakhs, but my other cost, see, out of 50 crores, 15 crores will be for B. So balance 35 crores must be for 35 lakhs. So 15 crores will be divided by 15 lakhs, that comes to 150. So 150 plus 100, 250. 1050 will be the total cost for me. 1050 will be the total cost for me. But then अगर ऐसा हुआ तो it needs consumption and issuance of 35 lakhs vials, जो practically नहीं हो रहे. I would have done this and it would have been accepted had there been a capacity of 35 lakhs and utilization of 35 lakhs. Unfortunately, we have utilized only 25 lakhs. So again, we'll have to change the cost structure and calculation structure like this. I'll tell you. 15 lakhs exclusively for quantity sold to B, 15 lakhs. So out of 25 lakhs, 15 lakhs is getting transferred to B. So this cost has to be for the other 25 lakhs. So 35 crores divided by 25 lakhs. Now I would take this as 140. Are you realizing this? If I would have utilized the 100% capacity, I would have taken 35 lakhs into consideration. Since I have utilized only 25 lakhs, I will be consider fixed cost to be recovered based on 25 lakhs, because I always believe in recovering fixed cost based on the normal production that is happening. So there will be a little change in the calculation. 15 crores upon 15 lakhs exclusively for B, 150 per unit. 35 crores for all 25 lakhs, 140 per unit. So 290 per unit is the total cost for me to be recovered from the customer, which is 1090. Which is 1090 plus 2%. 1090 plus 2%, 21.8. So 1111.8 is the price to be charged internally. See, you already have this answer. Okay. Fixed cost for special equipment is for B. Remaining fixed cost will be absorbed by the entire annual production of 25 lakhs, production of both internal. If I would have exhausted the entire capacity, I would have gone for 35. Pros and cons. Charging full cost will recoup its entire cost of production. My fixed cost will also be recovered. I'm talking about advantages. Profit will be unaffected for the transferor department. Financial performance will also be shown in a proper manner. The markup of internal sales will not have much difference with the markup of external sales. But the disadvantage is your product becomes costly. And if your product becomes costly, then the financial performance would reflect this is no incentive of division A to reduce the cost. That means your product is costly, you're recovering variable as well as fixed both from the transferee department. Here you are producing only 25 lakhs, but you are recovering entire fixed cost based on that. So if you see the overall cost structure, your 25 lakhs units multiplied by 800, so that comes to 200 crores. 200 crores plus 50 crores fixed cost. 250 crores is going to be your total cost. 250 crores is going to be your total cost, which you are trying to recover from external market as well as internal transfer. So there is a big threat of your cost getting increased and your product can be costly. Why would B pay you 1111.8 when it is available in the market for 1050? If you are going for 1111.8, cost of B will be more, profit of B will be less. He will never accept your proposal. Correct? So the external vendor is offering the same product for 1050. So B will have to pay 6.18 crores extra if they are buying it internally. If there is no expectation that the idle capacity would be utilized for longer. See, your idle capacity will not be utilized. Problem is, if I don't reduce, if A doesn't reduce its price, B will have an option of buying it from outsider. So 15 lakh units which were purchased by B, which were transferred to B, will no longer be produced and there will be additional idle capacity which will be unutilized. So there is a wastage of resources. So try to go for cost reduction technique, bring down your cost and charge it to the, and then accordingly you revise your transfer price to be charged to the customer. Is that part clear? This is what they have mentioned. See, keeping the long run business interest in mind, the management should direct to find out way to optimize its cost and make it cost competitive from the external market. Simple. While re-evaluating transfer price with respect to the market price, company should adjust price which are not typically incurred in internal sales. Adjustment should also be made to give effect of estimated profit margin of external vendor at 1050. So up to 1050 you can charge. So you can apply target costing technique. You can apply target costing technique. 1050 you want to apply, 800 and 290 if you are planning to spend. So guys, 1050 minus 800, your profit plus fixed cost should be 250 per unit, not more than that. So bring down the cost. You don't have any option other than reducing the cost. Apply cost reduction technique. This is what we are supposed to do in this question number 6. Is that clear? Yeah. Let's go to the next one. Next question is question number 7. X is a leading toy manufacturing firm having commenced its commercial operations in the year 1990. The firm has a state-of-the-art manufacturing facility in India. It sells toys through retail outlets and the firm's website. X has been pioneering the concept of quality and safety in toys and has been instrumental in raising the quality standards of toys in Indian market. X's mission is to influence parents to spend on toys that enable every child to grow with quality toys that contributes to his or her wholesome development. X procures the material from a number of different suppliers. Okay, so this might be a problem later on. Because if you are buying material from different suppliers, you never know who's sending you defective lot, or it will be difficult to trace the defective lot, the source of defective lot. All the purchased material are dispatched to its warehouse located in the factory and are held there unless they are moved to production. After production is completed, finished toys are moved to X's retail outlets by its own vehicles. Each week, the vehicle follow the same time schedule regardless of weight they are carrying. ये एक और problem है. Follow the same time route. That means even if the vehicle is not fully loaded, you are sending it just because there is its time. Time हो गया, माल बेच, गाड़ी निकाल. That means you are wasting the resource. If there are 2 trips scheduled in a day, and if my first trip is hardly 50% completed, 50% occupied, 50% capacity, that means I'm wasting time, no? Rather than I should be waiting till the truck or the lorry gets completely loaded to its full capacity, and then I should dispatch it. This leads to wastage. Finished toys are sold through X's website and are dispatched to its distribution center. X has recently got the contact to manufacture a new toy, that is TYZ, a mini cartoon based TV character from a famous international animated film. X has not been given any target price, hence is free to set its selling price. However, he must pay a royalty of 10% of selling price to the film director. X is also planning to sell TYZ through its retail outlets. X has decided to follow target costing technique to TYZ. Of a target costing technique for TYZ. Marketing manager has determined the selling price at around 1750 per TYZ. X needs margin of 26% selling price of TYZ. Following is the annexure. Discuss 3 primary activities of value chain through which X can minimize gap, if any. And then we have the cost structure. Material is 150.50, material D is 122.50, other material is mentioned in the note below. What does it say? TYZ requires 0.70 kgs of other material. The other material are procured from a supplier at a cost of 280 per kg, and around 5% of all purchased material are found to be downgraded. That means you need 0.70 kgs and the cost is 280. 0.70 needs to be consumed, 280. So 196 is the cost of material consumed, but please make sure that you are buying 100 if you are going to use 95, because 5% of purchase will be lost. 5% of purchase will be lost. So if you want 95 to be consumed, please buy 100. That means if I want to consume 95, I will have to pay for 100. So this is 95% of what my requirement is. This is my requirement. If this is going to be my requirement, I need to buy more than that. You understood this? Okay. 5% of all, this is discussed. Labor is also discussed. Specific production cost, specific distribution cost. We have all this data with us. What have they asked for? First of all, they have asked us to discuss 3 primary activities of value chain. And if I talk about value chain, guys, I need to understand a few things. if I'm talking about value chain is a whole system, and we have a few activities to be considered. One is inbound logistics. Second one is outbound logistics. You have also a few things to be discussed about. The third one, marketing and sales. Of course, there can be few more, you already know that, but we'll be talking about only this part. What more can be done? See, there can be few more aspects also, like, see, there can be a few more aspects like operations, services, after sales service. And generally, there are 5: inbound, related to inputs; operations, outbound, related to distribution; marketing and sales, to promote sales; and finally after sales service, just to keep your brand alive, just to satisfy the customer. I am taking only these 3 because I could see the problem in these 3. I did not see any problem with operations and service so far. Let me explain things to you guys. Inbound is about input. Here you are buying material from different people, different suppliers. What if there is a defective material supplied to you? How would you keep a track? How would you come to know exactly who has delivered the faulty material? So you better go for just-in-time system, so that everything will be set. You will make sure, your inspection team will make sure on a regular basis, on a recurring basis, that entire material which is delivered by the or of good quality and of the required quality. That saves your time, that saves your cost, that saves your carrying cost, that saves your time of sorting the material or inspecting material on arrival. When you already have a tie-up with the supplier is also aware that he cannot deliver a degraded material to you, because your inspection team keeps on visiting the supplier's warehouse every now and then randomly. So he will always be on his toes. उसको पता है ये लोग कभी भी आके मेरा मटेरियल चेक कर सकते, तो वो हिम्मत ही नहीं करेगा गलत मटेरियल आपको सप्लाई करने के. एंड इफ द रॉन्ग मटेरियल इज नॉट सप्लाइड टू यू, द क्वालिटी ऑफ फिनिश गुड्स इज टेकन केयर ऑफ फॉर एवर. सो दैट इज इनबाउंड लॉजिस्टिक. आउटबाउंड में तुम लोग ट्रक खड़ा करके अपने हिसाब से, टाइम के हिसाब से बेच रहे हो. दैट इज रॉन्ग. यू आर वेस्टिंग पेट्रोल, यू आर वेस्टिंग रिसोर्सेस, यू आर क्रिएटिंग एमिशन which is causing environment. So transportation should be scheduled, is what they have mentioned. You should improve the warehousing system on the basis of electronic data interchange basis. So whenever there is a need, there will be a distribution arranged. You should streamline the inventory management. And finally, marketing. You're selling through website. If you sell from retail outlet, certainly there will be more cost. Like product on Amazon is always cheaper than product in the shop. Why? Because there is a distribution cost to be added, to be recovered from the customer, plus other retail costs to be recovered from the customer. So you can think of choosing website as a base, so that you can actually sell the product at a lower price, because your cost structure will be lowered. No distribution cost, no retail cost. You produce the product, it is available on the website, you directly deliver it from the warehouse. That saves your cost. So overall, you should think about the cost advantage, is what I'm supposed to talk about. They did not mention about our operations, they did not mention about after sales. Of course, you can suggest them, but for a toy, after sales is too much. Okay, and operations, I don't see any problem happening in the question. So I opted for 3: inbound, outbound, and marketing. This is what you're supposed to do. My next calculation is target costing. Target costing says, okay, 1750 is the selling price. From 1750, there is a 26% profit required. So 1750 minus 26%, my target cost is 1295. From 1295, I am reducing my existing cost structure 150.50, 122.50, 420, 132.30, 166.60, and of course the other one that we calculated, 196 divided by 95%. So कितना था 280 multiplied by 0.70. This is your 95% requirement. तो ये होगा 206.32, 206.32. ये भी माइनस कर दूंगा. 96.78 is what I'm left with. 96 is something that I'm left with. And then you are also supposed to pay 10% royalty to the director. So 1750 is the selling price, 175 is the royalty paid. So there is a shortfall of 78.22. I hope you understood this target costing calculation. Guys, I cannot have selling price less than this. This cannot be avoided. This profit I must earn. So 1120 should be the cost. I'm reducing all other cost structures. This is also discussed with you. The consumption is 95%. So if I want to consume 95%, I'll have to order and pay for 100%. So accordingly, my cost structure is calculated 206.32. Even that is subtracted, and I realized that 1120 should be the cost and 1198.22 is the cost. That means I'm having excess cost structure of 78.22, which is called as cost gap. So I need to implement cost reduction technique to bring this 78.22 down, which we already discussed. Go for JIT, your carrying cost will be saved, your storage cost will be saved, your opportunity cost will be saved, your wastage will be saved. Probably if I go for JIT, I will not waste this 5%. Aaj, for consuming 95, I have to order 100. For consuming 95, I have to order 100, right? Purchase material, I'm finding out purchase material to be downgraded. If I go for JIT, this will not happen. Matlab yaar, 280 into 0.70, 196 will be the cost instead of 206. तो यहाँ पे आपका 206.32, 10 रुपया, 10.32 बच जाएगा. So 78.22 में से 10.32 बच गया, 67.9 will be the cost to be reduced. Cost reduction उस पे apply करना पड़ेगा. आपको समझ में आ रहा है? So JIT will remove this fault of downgraded material. फिर आप मटेरियल C, मटेरियल D, प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कॉस्ट, उसको कम करने की कोशिश करो. वेबसाइट पे डाल दोगे प्रोडक्ट, रिटेल कॉस्ट बच जाएगी, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कॉस्ट बच जाएगी, एंड यू विल बी एबल टू सेव समथिंग in distribution also. So they have not asked for it, but I'm just discussing it because in the exam they may ask what are the strategies: inbound, outbound, and marketing. So if I take care of JIT, I can show some saving here. If I go for proper transportation only after the truck is completely loaded, I will save distribution cost. If I go for sales on website basis, not retail basis, I can save the distribution cost. That means these are the areas where the saving can take place, which we have already mentioned in the first part of this question. They may ask you to relate them. That's why I'm discussing it. In this question, they did not. So I'm just stopping here. I'm just finding out how much is a cost gap, because they asked me to find out the cost gap, nothing else. Because they asked me to find out cost gap, nothing else. So I'm going for this. See. Minimize the gap. Yes, we are having those examples. Correct? So that was your question number 7. Next question is question number 8. It's about decision making. A to Z is one of the largest laundry services provider of suits. The firm has set a price of 510 for cleaning suit set. A to Z derive this price as follows. Cleaning material at the rate of rupees 35. Labor 3 hours at the rate of 50 per hour. So guys, you have material 35, labor 150, variable overheads 70, fixed overheads they have added 45, 45 plus markup 70% of total cost. So 510. A to Z is known for its quality work and timely delivery. Hence, customers are willing to pay this premium price. Firm's employees receive a fixed salary. An hourly rate of 50 is derived by dividing the total salary by total number of hours available. Variable overheads depend on the number of suits cleaned, whereas fixed overheads rate is derived by dividing total cost of all related expenses by number of labor hours available. Fixed overheads generally include office rent and administrative salary. A local hotel approached A to Z as the regular cleaners of their suits are on strike. Regular cleaners are on strike in the hotel. So they approached us about possibility of cleaning 130 suits in a coming week. So there is an offer of cleaning 130 suits now. They need to work done on a rush basis. A to Z has sufficient quantity of required cleaning material in stock for a special order. Okay, so we already have this material in stock. So ideally, the A to Z will not be required to spend anything on material. You already have some material in stock. It perceives that it could complete 60% of the special order during normal working hours. However, for completing remaining 40%, some employees will have to work overtime. Overtime are paid at premium, which could be time and a half of the hourly rate. Okay. Advise the price it shall quote for special order. Does special order decision deal with excess supply or excess demand? Whether such special order be accepted on rush basis? Comment. Now this solution requires proper in-depth thinking. Please concentrate here. I want to determine the minimum selling price to be charged to the customer. Let's start with material. Question has said that we have a sufficient quantity of required cleaning material in stock for this special order. So if you recollect, we used to consider some chart. Material in stock. You have material in stock. Regularly used, or it was already purchased for some other order which is still with me, unused. The order is over, the job is completed, it is unused, that's why it is lying with me. Guys, if it is regularly used, I have 10 kgs of stock with me which is regularly used. That means if I use it for, see, it is regularly used for my routine production process. If it is regularly required to be used for routine production process, if I use it for the new job undertaken by me, for routine process, I'll have to buy 10 kgs anyhow. So current replacement cost is important for me. I hope you are understanding this. If the material was purchased for some special task, the special task is over, material is with me, I may sell it. I may sell it for 8. Now, if you want me to use it for the new order, there is an opportunity cost of 8. Now please understand, we don't have material for some extra special task. We have sufficient quantity of material required for the special order given in the question by the hotel. So if I don't use that cleaning material for this hotel, I can use it in my laundry for a routine work. So what? It is a replaceable material. If I'm not going to use it for hotel, I'm going to use it for myself. So if I'm using it for special order, if I'm using it for hotel, I have every right to charge it to the customer. So what I'm going to do here is, I hope you're understanding this. It is not the material which is in stock, which was purchased for some special order. No. Special order, by special order, they mean the order given by the hotel. So listen, I have some cleaning material with me, which will be used for this hotel project. If I use it for hotel project, for my routine project, I'll have to buy the new one, no? If there is no hotel project, the same thing will be used in my business. If there is a hotel project, I will be using this material for hotel project, and for my routine laundry project, my routine cleaning activity, I'll have to buy the fresh lot. So it is a replaceable material. And if it is a replaceable material, guys, I have to spend 35, and I will make my customer pay for 35 on 130 suits. So 130 suits multiplied by 35 per suit, 130 into 35. So 4550 is my relevant material cost to be charged. It's an incremental cost, it's a replacement cost. If I use this material for hotel, 130 suits, it will get utilized. So for my existing business, I'll have to buy the new one. So it is as good as I'm buying the new one for the hotel industry, for the hotel offer. तो गाइज 130 सूट का 35 रुपीज पर यूनिट के हिसाब से 4550 मटेरियल आएगा. लेबर इज ऑलरेडी कैलकुलेटेड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ 50 rupees per hour. Guys, you calculated 50 rupees per hour on the basis of total available hours. बराबर है? Now your 130 units will require 3 hours. So 390 hours is the total time required. Out of that, 40% is overtime. Guys, मेरी बात सुनो. 130 suits into 3 hours. 390 hours I need. Question says out of 390 hours, 60% is during normal, which I have already considered in the cost calculation. So 60% is normal, which is already considered in 50 rupees per hour calculation. Balance is OT, which is 40%. So 390 multiplied by 40%, 156 hours will be worked extra. बच्चे 390 hours का labor cost मुझे पहले से पता है लगने वाला है, which is already considered when I calculated 50 per hour. But अभी ऐसा है कि this will be an incremental cost for me, this will be an additional cost for me, 156. Are you getting me? This will be an additional cost for me, 156. 156 hours. अच्छा, इसमें 50 rupees rate consider नहीं करूंगा मैं. I will consider premium on this. I will consider premium on this. You understood this? और हाँ, बाकी 390 hours का खर्चा तो अलग से चार्ज करूंगा मैं 50. 390 hours का खर्चा अलग से चार्ज करूंगा 50, एंड 156 का खर्चा जो है that will be at 75. ये ऑलरेडी आ चुका है लेबर में भी. अगर आपको याद है, इफ यू रिकलेक्ट द चार्ट दैट वी हैव डिस्कस्ड, इफ यू ऑलरेडी हैव excess time and if you're not going to retrench your workers, you have already paid them for that excess time. So out of that excess time, if you're making them work for some time, that is fine. You're not incurring any extra cost for that. Question has clearly told us, question has not said that there is an excess utilization of capacity. क्वेश्चन सेज देयर इज एन एक्सेस यूटिलाइजेशन ओनली टू द एक्सटेंट ऑफ 40%, मतलब 60% तक का तो खर्चा आ चुका है ऑलरेडी, आई एम नॉट बॉदर्ड अबाउट इट। बैलेंस 156 आवर्स के लिए 390 hours is my total requirement. Out of 390 hours, my overtime will be only restricted to 40%, 156 hours. 156 hours will be paid 50 as base rate and overtime premium, which is half. Matlab basically 50 into 1.5. So 156 into 75. 11,700 should be the labor cost. I hope you understood what I'm talking about. अरे जो extra time लगा, that will cost me. जो extra time लगा, that will cost me, not the basic time. जो extra time लगा, that will cost me, not the basic time. तो 130 units extra बनाने के लिए 3 घंटे के हिसाब से 390 आवर्स चाहिए। 390 में से 60% मेरे पास है, 40% एक्सेस काम करना पड़ेगा। तो सारे वर्कर्स अब 156 आवर्स एक्स्ट्रा काम करेंगे। 50 रुपीज तो देना ही पड़ेगा प्लस प्रीमियम। सो 1.5 टाइम्स दे रहे हैं उनको 50 रुपीज का, तो 11,700 विल बी योर कॉस्ट लेबर की। वेल, फॉर वेरिएबल ओवरहेड्स द रेलेवेंट कॉस्ट इज ऑलरेडी गिवन टू बी 70, तो 9,100 आएगा। 4550। आपको समझा ट्रिकी कैसा है? स्पेशल स्टॉक समझ के मटेरियल को स्किप कर देते लोग। स्पेशल स्टॉक नहीं है वो, स्पेशल ऑर्डर के लिए जो मुझे मिला है। द होटल हैज गिवन मी द स्पेशल ऑर्डर, आई हैव इनफ क्वांटिटी फॉर दैट स्पेशल ऑर्डर, बट इफ आई यूज दैट क्वांटिटी फॉर दिस स्पेशल ऑर्डर, what will I use in my laundry for my regular business? I'll have to buy the new one. That means it is as good as you're buying new one for the special order of hotel. Got it? Labor, only the excess time will be paid for. Otherwise, you have already calculated rate accordingly. And a variable overhead is also available, straight 70 per unit basis. So boss, 25,350 का मुझे खर्चा आएगा 130 सूट पे, तो भाई 195 पर यूनिट मिनिमम मिलना चाहिए मुझको। 195 पर यूनिट मुझे मिनिमम मिलनी चाहिए सेलिंग प्राइस। मिनिमम सेलिंग प्राइस इज अ प्राइस विच डज नॉट गिव यू लॉस। प्रॉफिट दे ना दे, लॉस नहीं होना चाहिए। मिनिमम सेलिंग प्राइस इज द सेलिंग प्राइस दैट डजंट गिव यू लॉस, सो इट कैन बी इक्वल टू द कॉस्ट स्ट्रक्चर, रिलेवेंट कॉस्ट स्ट्रक्चर। मेरे जेब से इतना जाएगा, मेरे जेब में इतना वापस आ जाना चाहिए, बात खत्म। Is that part clear? Great. So, और सेकेंड पार्ट में क्या मांगा है क्वेश्चन में? Does special decision deal with excess supply or excess demand? See, it doesn't, na? Only for 40% there is a special order. See, the different resources are differently used for different capacity levels. ये देखो, if 60% of special order could be completed during the normal working hours, then the firm clearly have some excess capacity in terms of labor hours. So I'm not considering that cost. I'm considering only overtime. See, if the current material does not use up the available stock, the firm would store the cleaning material for the latter use. I have use. So if I'm using it for hotel, it is getting used. So for my routine business, I'll have to buy the fresh lot. So it is as good as I'm buying fresh lot. So there is a surplus work required to be done in case of material as well as in case of 40% of labor hours. This is what you should understand. Where such special order should be accepted on a rush basis. Why not? See, there are two sides, that's what they are saying. The firm can even earn more profit by taking such special order. Of course, मेरे जेब से यार 195 जा रहा है. I am spending only 195. So there is an opportunity of earning huge profit. On the other side, the order received need to be delivered urgently. Therefore, accepting rush order may affect the quality of the service and also timely delivery may not be completed. Hence, goodwill and a brand will be affected, which in turn affect the future profitability. Possible. Though immediate monetary benefits are seen, long-term consequences are also need to be seen. If you really feel that comfortably you can complete the rush orders, you go for it. But generally ऐसा नहीं होता ना. Rush orders मतलब क्या, फटाफट बना के ही दोगे. The kind of food you get in restaurants on 31st December and the kind of food you normally get in that restaurant in other days, there is always a difference, because then bana ke, they simply give it to you. The quality is always impaired when there is a rush order. If you are ready to take that risk, go for it, otherwise don't. So the firm manager would need to consider both short-term benefits of accepting the order and long-run benefit on profitability. That's what your question number 8 is all about. Thank you so much. Next one is question number 9. The next question is question number 9. During September 2021, Mr. W offers bundling and item packing facilities for standard size of 24 inches by 12 inches by 10 inches to give the best facility to satisfy industrial customers need at to satisfying the customer's need at Great Ocean Warehouse. W plans a pack of 93,750 items at a rate of 4.50 per item. So this is my budgeted quantity. I have a budgeted rate of 4.50. W estimates that variable cost will be equal to 1.5 per item packed and the fixed cost will be equal to 58,000 per month. In September 21, W packed 1,12,500 items. This is my actual quantity, and received 5,06,250 as total revenue. Guys, 5,06,250 we have received against 112,500. That means actual rate must be 4.5. So I was supposed to render services at the rate of 4.5. I have done that. However, W paid 1,80,000 on resources, including urgent purchase on tape at retail price. In addition, W paid 70,000 to the warehouse administration for rent, electricity, maintenance charges. This past September was unusually hot, and W charged a percentage of the warehouse's actual electricity bill. Okay. Prepare a budget reconciliation report along with suitable analysis. Budget reconciliation means whenever your actual data varies from the budgeted data, जब आपके actual data में और budgeted data में फर्क हो, whenever there is a variation in budgeted data and actual data, you need to find out reasons for that, and those reasons are to be quoted. My budgeted data was this, but this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened, and my actual result is this because of that. This is what we are supposed to do. Matlab, basically, we need to go for variance calculation. How do we go about it, guys? That means we need to know two profit figures first. See, I'll first go for budgeted data and actual data. How much was your budgeted quantity? 93,750. 93,750 was your budgeted quantity, and 1,12,500 is your actual quantity, multiplied by selling price 4.5, and we calculated even actually is 4.5. So 93,750 multiplied by 4.5, 421,875 is my sales which was expected. This is my sales which was expected to happen, and 112,500 multiplied by 4.5, this 5,06,200, 5,06,250 was any which way given in the question only, minus variable cost. Now if you talk about variable cost, it is 1.5 per unit, if I'm not wrong. So for 93,750 at the rate of 1.5, my variable cost would be 140,625, and here it is clearly given to be 1,80,000. Now guys, in this question we do not have detailed information about absorption rates and all that. So we can use marginal costing as a technique. 1,40,000 is my variable cost against 421,875. 2,81,250 is my contribution. 3,26,250 is actual contribution. I was expecting fixed cost to be 58,000, but actually it is 70,000. I was expecting fixed cost to be 58,000, but actually it is 70,000. Since they are clearly relying on this, my actual profit is 256,250, whereas my budgeted profit is 281,250. So 223,250. Guys, there is a favorable variance of 33,000 in terms of profit. There is a favorable variance of 33,000 in terms of profit. Correct? I need to find out reason for this. It's going to be very simple. If you recollect, as far as reconciliation is concerned, we have to start with budgeted profit and we have to add something, subtract something, and we have to go for actual profit. Now basically, when I start from budgeted profit, I have two parts: due to sales, due to cost. And in due to sales, we have two: margin price variance and margin volume variance. Now margin price variance is the impact of variation. Margin price variance is the impact of variation in selling price on profit. But there is no variation in selling price as far as this question is concerned, so there is no margin price variance. But margin volume variance is impact of variation in quantity on profit. Since we have opted for marginal costing, we can go for marginal costing as a base. So I need a budgeted contribution per unit: 281,250, 281,250 divided by 93,750 divided by 93,750. So my budgeted contribution is 3 per unit. So what I can do is, see, 93,750 units I had thought of selling, but 112,500 units I have actually sold. So 18,750 into 3. Oh my God. $56,250, but favorable, because since I'm selling more contribution can be earned. So 223,250 is my budgeted profit. My first reason is margin volume variance. My second reason is fixed overhead variance. My second reason is fixed overhead variance. I can clearly see that 12,000 adverse cost has gone up. It's that simple, guys. And as far as variable cost is concerned, please remember that you're dealing with variable cost. It is 1.5 per unit. Since you have actually sold and produced and sold 1,12,500, actual variable cost is for 112,500. So the variance calculation has to be done at a common level of actual output. My calculation says 112,500 into 1.5. अरे 1.5 आपका होना चाहिए था ना वेरिएबल स्ट्रक्चर. 1.5 आपका होना चाहिए था ना वेरिएबल स्ट्रक्चर. तो 1.5 multiplied by 112,500, that gives me variable cost of My variable cost should have been 168,750, but actually it is 180. It is more. So 11,250 adverse is my variable overhead variance. So guys, I cannot see any other variance. There is no material, labor and other information given. They have simply said variable cost. So that must be inclusive of everything. We are not bothered. So 223, 250 should have been the profit. लेकिन सेल्स की वजह से 56, 250 से प्रॉफिट बढ़ गया, वेरिएबल के वजह से कम हुआ, फिक्स की वजह से कम हुआ, एंड फाइनली इट इज रेस्ट्रिक्टेड टू 2,56,250. That's what the reconciliation is all about. That's what the reconciliation is all about. फिक्स कॉस्ट पे फिर आपको तरह तरह के बाकी के एब्जॉर्प्शन रेट निकाल के भी आंसर निकालना है तो निकाल सकते हो बाय यूजिंग एब्जॉर्प्शन कॉस्टिंग बेस, बट देन इट्स नॉट रिक्वायर्ड. सी, have you clearly understood this part? This is my budgeted data, actual data. I can see the variation in volume, which will affect my profit. Since my quantity has gone up, my profit will also go up. There is no change in the selling price. There is no change in the selling price, and since there is no change in the selling price, there is no margin price variance. Variable cost is 1.5 per unit. I have actually produced 112,500. So 112,500 into 1.5 should have been lesser than 1,80,000. So adverse variance. And instead of 58,000, I ended up spending 70,000. I applied contribution as a base. I decided to go for marginal costing as a technique because I just want to give them the reconciliation of exactly what has gone wrong. So 70,000. This past September was unusually hot, and W is charged percentage of the warehouse's actual electricity bill. You can use absorption costing also if you want. But these days decisions are taken based on marginal costing only. So you can rely on marginal costing only, you will be given the full marks. Of course, this question can be solved with the help of absorption costing. You calculate further variances of fixed, but you don't have information about R's. Okay, so even if you try doing that, budget variance you will be able to calculate. Budget variance is 12,000 adverse. Volume variance you will have to calculate. And cost variance you will be able to calculate. There won't be calendar, capacity, idle time, efficiency, because you don't have information about number of hours. So let it be. You can calculate, of course. See, this is your fixed cost, 58,000. 58,000 budgeted fixed cost, 93,750 budgeted quantity, 0.16186 something is your absorption rate, multiplied by 112,500. This will give you fixed overhead absorb 69,600. You will absorb 69,600. Guys, out of 69,600, when 69,600 I have absorbed, but I incurred 70. Oh my God. So 400 adverse is cost variance. I would have got cost variance as 400 adverse. Budget variance आता 12,000 adverse because I expected less and I had to incur more. और volume variance इधर मिलता आपको 93,750 minus 112,500 into absorption rate. Into absorption rate. 93,750 minus 112,500. $11,600, but favorable because you produced more. तो ultimately effect क्या आ रहा है यार? 12,000 and 11,600, 400 adverse. ये भी आप calculation में दिखा सकते. We have assumed marginal to be the base and we finish it off. Have you understood this? आपके solution में आपको जो solution दिया है ICI ने, उसमें they have used this as see properly. They have given you sales volume variance, but this is actually margin volume variance. Kindly remember, it's not sales volume variance, it is margin volume variance, then variable cost variance, and then fixed cost expenditure variance. Since you're going for marginal, fixed cost expenditure itself is your fixed overhead cost variance. अगर आप absorption costing follow करना है तो भी आ सकता है 223, 250, 223, 250. वॉल्यूम वेरिएंस बदलेगा क्योंकि अब उसमें कंट्रीब्यूशन पर यूनिट के बदले बजटेड प्रॉफिट पर यूनिट लेना पड़ेगा आपको, बस दैट विल बी द डिफरेंस. तो ये बदलेगा और इसके बदले एक्सपेंडिचर वेरिएंस एंड वॉल्यूम वेरिएंस दोनों आएंगे. वो फाइनली एडजस्ट कर लेगा. अपना कोई भी टेक्स्ट बुक का सम निकाल के सॉल्व कर लेना, आपको मिल जाएगा आंसर. बट ये जो उन्होंने लिखा है वो नहीं होना चाहिए. इट इज नॉट सेल्स वॉल्यूम वेरिएंस, इट इज सेल्स मार्जिन वॉल्यूम वेरिएंस, और यू कैन कॉल इट एज मार्जिन वॉल्यूम वेरिएंस. आई होप दिस इज एब्सोल्युटली क्लियर. मैंने दोनों साइड से करवा दिया. आपको जो एग्जाम में स्ट्राइक होता है वो आप कर सकते हैं. सी कंट्रीब्यूशन वॉल्यूम वेरिएंस, यही चीज मैंने सब एक्सप्लेन करके आपको ऑलरेडी दी है. दिस इज व्हाट वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड. So that was question number 9 for you guys. Now the next important part, question number 10. Swastik Limited manufactures and sells 4-valve engine DTK1. Company appoints Mr. Watson to coordinate shipments of DTK1 from the factory to distribution warehouse located in various parts of India, so that goods will be available as orders are received from the customers. Swastik Limited is unsure how to classify his annual salary of 24 lakhs in the cost records. The company's cost analysis says that Mr. Watson's salary should be classified as a manufacturing cost, and the finance controller say that it should be classified as selling cost, and the managing director says that it does not matter which way Mr. Watson's salary is classified. Which viewpoint is correct? And comment. Final CA question. See guys, your production cost will have all cost structures required to produce the product, all cost structures which are supporting the production phase. And your selling cost will include all those cost structures which are required to sell the product or to create a demand, like marketing and all, or to distribute goods, deliver goods to the customer's doorstep. Now Mr. Watson here is coordinating shipments. He is coordinating shipments so that finished goods will be made available for customers. Do you really think this should be charged to production? No, it can't be charged to production. By all means, it is your delivery or distribution cost, so it should be classified as selling cost. It is that simple. You understood this part. That's it. That's the end of this solution. Next one. Now, this is something important. Identify the question number 11 is about like some match the column kind of a concept. So kindly focus here. We'll discuss each and every point and answer. This was quite simple. Question number 10 was quite simple. Let's go for question number 11 now, guys. Identify the correct pair of statements. Fill in the blanks. Basically, it is the 5 forces model provides a clear and precise methodology for analyzing an organization's industry environment to determine its what? To determine what? 5 forces model. 5 forces model, Michael Porter, do you remember this? You already have this in the textbook. It is for determining profit potential of the industry. So basically it is towards profitability, which is point number 6. Second, the more substitutes buyers have for an industry's product or services, the bargaining power of buyers, so dash the industry profitability. What is it, man? What should that dash be? See, we have one answer lower, higher, and the other answer higher, lower. I know one of these answers will be recorded because there are 2 spaces to be filled. No, it is quite simple. This is what you are supposed to do in the exam also. Don't worry, doesn't matter. So I know that there are 2 answers required here. One is lower, higher. Other one is higher, lower. Okay, let's think about it. The more substitutes buyer has the industry, so what do you think? Higher will be the bargaining power of buyers. अरे बायर के पास सब्स्टिट्यूट है, बायर के पास ऑप्शन है कहीं भी जाने का, तो बार्गेनिंग पावर बायर के हाथ में है, and it will be a lower possibility, lower profitability in the industry. जहां पे काफी सारे ऑप्शंस है, buyer has many substitutes, that means it is a competitive market. Competitive market मतलब competitive selling price, lower profitability. So I would like to go for point number 9, higher and lower. I hope you understood this. Very smartly we shortlisted these 2 because there are 2 fill in the blanks. So we are supposed to focus only on them. And then we applied our mind. Buyer has a substitute available. So it's a competitive market. That means buyer has a higher bargaining power. And since there are so many players in the market, profitability has to be low because of the competitive selling price. Aha, now you are smart enough to know the answer for this is going to be 7 because there is only 1 left. But still, we'll find it out. The higher the barrier to the entry into an industry, the dash, the threat of new entrants. Higher the barrier to entry, lower will be the new entrants and higher will be the profitability. Airline company earlier was this difficult entry, so lower and higher, so I would like to go for 7. A fast food company has opted to offer limited range. A fast food company has offered a limited range. The strategy most likely be limited range, procurement, Six Sigma, differentiation, generic, market price, cost plus. What can be the reason? That means, see, if your company is going for, it's a fast food company which has opted for a limited range, that means there is no much scope of competition. Since it has a limited range, that means you are keen to be focused on the cost structure. So this is your low focus strategy. See, multi-product, low cost focus. See, multi-product can be followed. Multi-product can be followed when you have a complete command over the products and the cost structure and the profitability and the sales. If you are focusing on low cost structure, you have to have a limited range so that on each and every product you can have a control, you can apply cost control technique. Point number 5, dash refers to when an organization concentrates its efforts on a narrower part of the market. And I think we call it as focus, if I'm not wrong. We call it as focus. So that is your 24. that is your 24. Six, diversification involves developing new products and services to sell in the new market. The dash risk option. What do you think? What can be the base? Highest risk option, because if you are launching a new product, if you are going for diversification, huge cost is involved. You don't know whether your product will get clicked or not, so it's a high risk option. So high risk. The secondary activity dealing with acquisition of input is said to be secondary activity by dealing with acquisition of input. Acquisition of input is procurement. Acquisition of input is purchase, procurement. Eighth one. Dash seek to improve the quality of output. Dash improves the quality by identifying defects. I think it should be Six Sigma, no? Six Sigma is a technique where you identify the defects. Damaik damdao. Yes. 9. Dash advantage can be achieved by the superior customer responsiveness. Dash advantage can be achieved. Generic? No. Then what is it? Dash advantage can be achieved by the superior customer responsiveness. So customer is responding and customer is responding in an advantageous manner. That means customer must have preferred your product over your competitor's product. That means it's nothing but a differentiation strategy that is being implemented. It's a differentiation advantage. Because when you have a superior product, your customer always responds in a favorable manner. So differentiation is something that works. By understanding how value chain, please remember this, how value chain is designed or configured or encompassing efficiencies, cost, value that can be created for customers, organization, and better position itself against the industry competitors and pursue the chosen strategy. I think you know the answer here. It is definitely the generic. By understanding how the value chain is designed or configured, encompassing the efficiencies, this is what you're going to the root level cause, you're finding out all value chain, you're evaluating each and every aspect related to the manufacturing, production, distribution and sales and marketing and after sales. So basically this is a generic evaluation that you're doing. So it will be generic. Target cost means the product cost estimate derived by subtracting the desired profit margin from a competitive selling price. We have market price. So instead of using the word selling price, we'll use the word market price. This is 5. Dash pricing might seem like attractive option, but its problem when it ignores market condition and thus may lead to price that is too high or low. Too high or low. Price is too high or low. You must be talking about cost plus pricing. You must be talking about, I'll tell you the reason. If cost is high, cost plus profit will be further higher. If cost is low, cost plus profit will be lower. So basically, it looks like an attractive option, but you're not considering market conditions. What if you have an opportunity of earning more profit, but you can't encash because your cost is low? Like if I'm an architect, I'm handling some project for you. You're giving me a workload and you're saying, sir, how much you would charge? I'll say I'll charge 20% on cost. If I tell you I'll charge 20% on cost, What if your work is of only 1 lakh rupees? I will be hardly get 20,000 from the project because the cost is low. So I'm not taking into consideration the market conditions, market positions. So I'm simply going for cost plus pricing concept. Next one is 13. The performance pyramid is based on a range of objectives for both external as well as internal. Performance pyramid. So performance pyramid, if you recollect, we basically are concerned about external effectiveness, internal effectiveness, but ultimately we are looking out for customer satisfaction. So it is going to be 10. Total productivity management. Unplanned downtime loss. Unplanned downtime loss includes dash and unplanned maintenance. Equipment breakdown. 14 must be equipment breakdown. Six Sigma can be used with dash by providing more thorough measurement system based on statistics. Thorough measurement system can be taken as balanced scorecard, because in case of balanced scorecard you evaluate all aspects, no, social, economic. I hope you are understanding this, plus learning of employees, so you have overall information. So Six Sigma will always tell you the defects, and the defects can be in any of the segments, and those segments can be improved. So balanced scorecard will give you evaluation, and Six Sigma can be used to improve those improve defects if there is any in those departments. 16. W manufactures a toy baby in lots of 7,000 and then approaches various department of toy shops trying to convince them to stock baby on their shelves. This is an example of, it has to be pushed, no, you're producing it and then you are reaching the customer. So it is push approach. Dash should include expected response time. So basically you're talking about expected response time for solving technical queries. So if that is the case, if you're talking about expected response time, what should include? Your agreement should include that time. Your service level agreement must include response time. Expected response, कितने time में respond करेगा, वो भी तो agreement का हिस्सा होना चाहिए. So it is 17. 18. A service provider such as a reputed CA firm, WI, depends on quality staff to deliver quality service. This is an example of dash markets. So they are talking about markets. So they are looking out for quality staff. That means this has to be a recruitment factor. If they are looking out for a quality staff, they will look out for quality staff. They will hire a quality staff. That means it is about recruitment. 19. The supermarket sets up a just-in-time arrangement with a supplier for short life items such as ready-to-eat food in order to retain the customer interest in the instant food product. This is an example of. Now, what can be this? Just-in-time, no. If it is just-in-time, that means it is suppliers market. That means it is suppliers market, because you are dependent on supplier in order to provide that. A supermarket setup JIT. Why? What for? With a supplier for short life items. Short life items means you need those items on a regular basis. If you need those items on a regular basis, that means you will have to be dependent on the supplier all the time, because your demand will be intact. It's a supplier's market where supplier plays a vital role and the important role. Question number 20. A bank refers customers to provide for insurance services refers customer, it has to be a referral market, refers customers to providers of insurance service. That means it is a referral market. Okay, you go to so falana bank, you are opening account, sir, would you like to have an insurance policy? We have this policy as well. Okay, so this is a referral market. With one reference you are getting the customer. 21. W insurance firm was worried about its poor performance of its one of its policy, and it found that the policy was not profitable when sold to recently retired people. So you found out that the product is loss making after it was launched, otherwise it was profitable. So one segment of the product is wrong, one customer segment of the product is wrong. So this is an example of gap analysis. Gap analysis basically stands for highly sensitive but accurate quantitative analysis of the entire structure. See, your policy is not a loss-making policy for all. It is only loss-making when it is sold to retired people. So we need to carry on the highly sensitive and accurate quantitative analysis before you go for this. 22. Improving position of the firm in search engine listing for key terms or phases relates to improving position in case of search engine, improvement related to search engine. That means basically we are going for customer acquisition, improving the position of a firm in search engine. That means you want your name to be, okay, someone types best coaching class for CA, JK Shah classes. So if I want my name to appear first, that means I am going out for customer acquisition plan. So that is my 28. You understood this? You have a restaurant, best restaurant in Mumbai. You want your name to be appeared first in the search engine. There are strategies, there are techniques to do that. There is a scope of doing that, which is called customer acquisition. You acquire your customer based on that, because the first name that appears on the screen is yours. 23. Dash tie into the organization's overall strategy. What tie into overall strategy? Critical success factors. Overall strategy is always critical success factor. So critical success factor will be the answer for this CSF. Now dash for efficient production could include maximum liters of acetic acid wasted. Dash for efficient production could include maximum liter of acetic acid wasted. It has to be KPI. Why? On the basis of that, you can decide whether it is minimum is the wastage, better is the performance, higher is the wastage, poor is the performance. So that will indicate whether you are efficient in terms of production or not. 25. The principle of controllability is required to be considered when using dash measures to assess divisional performance. The principle of controllability is required to be considered using dash measures. So they have to be financial measures, because stringent you are in terms of financial measures, the better will be the divisional performance evaluation. Correct? 26. Not distorted by inflation. Not distorted by inflation is benefit to the organization of using. Not distorted by inflation, you're not getting affected by inflation, is the benefit to an organization of using non-performance measure. Because if you're non-financial performance measure, if I'm indicating, I'm not going to get affected because of inflation and all. Not distorted by inflation, not affected by the inflation. is the benefit to an organization. If you are using financial performance, inflation will decide your performance based on financial answers, financial activities. But then if you are having non-financial performance, then definitely it's a benefit. W has set its staff targets relating to improvement in the number of customer complaints received in relation to performance parameter. It is related to this level. You have set targets. You have set targets and you are looking out for, you have set targets and you are looking out for improvement in the number of customer complaints. So basically you are looking out for business operating systems. So this will be considered as 20. And the last one, 28. Under building block model, where you have goals and motivation and strategies. Under building block model, the dash for the business is referred to be the dimensions. Okay. If you recollect about, if you talk about dimensions, it can be your critical success factors. So that was your RTP discussion for May 22. See, I'll just tell you one thing. There are chances that major paper will be on theory basis, but still, I would advise you to focus on practical also, because you can score in practical. As far as theory is concerned, book 2 is more than enough of JKSC. And as far as practical is concerned, you go for decision making. In decision making, questions based on relevant costing are very important. Shutdown point questions are important, which we have solved initially. Then point of indifference questions, which we have already covered, even that is important. Divisional pricing is a very important topic, especially goal congruence concept. We have already covered that. Enough questions we have solved based on that. In pricing, that profit maximization selling price concept is important, very important. Please refer charts given in the beginning of pricing and transfer pricing. You can solve any question based on that. As far as standard costing is concerned, I am expecting planning operational variance calculation as well as fixed cost variances. So as far as practicality is concerned, book 2 you have to discuss, read in detail. In book 1, from practical section, decision making, shutdown point, point of indifference and relevant costing you have to study thoroughly. Divisional pricing, focus on goal congruence concept, which can also be considered as range of transfer pricing. Then you can have look at profit maximization price, that MC is equal to MR concept in pricing. Please read charts which I have given you initially in pricing as well as divisional pricing. Your major problems will get solved if you remember the chart thoroughly. And finally, for standard costing, you should be going for planning variance and operational variance calculation and fixed overhead variances in depth. Do this much, I'm sure you will be able to do well. JKC and Professor Mayuresh, we both are with you. You have any doubt, we are always there for you. You can contact us. You have been contacting us, of course, I know, for so many doubts, and I'm sure your doubts are answered also. So thank you so much, guys. All the best and do well. Thank you so much.